What's the deal with keto-friendly butters? Hi, in case you're new to this channel, I am Slick Nick. I'm your personal keto bro, and no, I'm not a doctor, a dietitian, a nutritionist, or personal trainer. I'm just some random guy in Tennessee who's experimenting on myself as I have gone full keto, as I'm reaching that goal of 17% body fat. I've made it down to 20, up from 23 a year ago, and this is working for me. I'm excited about it. The thing with keto, a lot of people love to trash it, but they're mainly people who aren't actually doing keto, or they're not doing it right. They're not doing the 5 pillars of keto as mentioned in the video right there in that link that you can check out. Let's focus on the butters though, specifically. Butter is very important when you're keto. I mean, if you type in keto t-shirt on Amazon, you're gonna find butter in so many of the shirts. It'd be like butter, avocados, and bacon. So let's look through these. Let's start off with the most obvious one, grass-fed butter. We're looking at, so keep in mind, keto, I don't care about calories anymore. It is 100 calories, but for a tablespoon, we're looking at 11 grams of fat in this. So there's no carbs, there's no protein, therefore not triggering my insulin at all, which is the whole concept of this. So there we go. I'm putting this in smoothies. I'm cooking my eggs and my bacon with it. Basic butter, I have it every day. It's very important. I put it in my coffee. So butter, grass-fed. Then we also have ghee, which is more expensive. This is basically fuller of probiotics, which are good for your stomach, and that's a big part of this whole thing as far as burning fat. So for example, on this, a teaspoon, it says is a serving, and there's 5 grams of fat in that, but basically I double it. So I'll do a tablespoon, I have my 10 grams, and again, 0 carbs, 0 protein, not triggering insulin. So I just kind of mix it up here a little bit, and that's for more probiotics. Next up in line that would be of importance is coconut oil. And granted, I use Mct oil in my coffee as well, but then there's other times I'll put this maybe in a smoothie. So coconut oil, 14 grams of fat, no carbohydrates, and 0 protein. So again, not triggering insulin at all, which is our friend. It doesn't say butter on it, it's just coconut oil. But in theory, let me show you something. Coconut butter is really just coconut oil. So I got my hands on some of this, I've been trying it out. Coconut oil with non-dairy butter flavor is what this is. So when you look on the back, 14 grams of fat, no carbs, no protein, really, yeah, everything's identical. The numbers are all alike. All this is it's got some butter flavor to it. So I have been putting it in my smoothies, but for the money of it, I'm just gonna, after I get through this bottle, I'm just gonna go back and stick with my coconut oil anyway. It's even less processed, and the numbers are all the same. And ultimately, it's gonna be cheaper for me to buy big old bottles of coconut oil from Marshall's. This was cost me, this was like, it was 10 bucks, but I think it got on sale for like 7 or 8. So the coconut oil is very important. Now moving on to more of the nut butters. I'm gonna go through those real quick. So this is my favorite brand of peanut butter, Teddy. It's hilarious, it's got a teddy bear on it. It's literally just dry roasted peanuts and salt, 16 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein, and 7 carbohydrates. So normally I don't wanna eat anything that has more than 5 carbohydrates in it, unless we can get well over, say, at least 10 grams of fat, ideally 15, and this does that. It has the 16 grams of fat, plus it has protein. Now granted, this will cause your insulin to go up a little bit, so I'm saving this for later in the day when I have peanut butter. And on a similar note, let's look at almond butter. So almond butter, 17 grams of fat, 7 grams of protein, and 7 grams of carbohydrates. So comparatively speaking, these are somewhat similar, almost really identical. The peanut butter has a gram more of protein in it. The almond butter has a gram more of fat in it, and the carbohydrates are the same. But this is gonna cost more money. I get this for like 3 bucks, whereas this from Whole Foods, I got it, I think, for 6 or 7. So it's gonna be at least double the price if you get a good deal on it. But it is nice to kind of mix things up with the almond over there. So there's my video on butters, because butter is so important when you're keto, because you're always looking for ways to really amp up that fat intake and start your actual eating with the fatty stuff. So it's Mct oil, which I haven't, should I just show it? Okay. I don't really put this in the category of butter, but in theory, it's just more of a processed version of coconut oil. When we look at the calorie difference, the MCT oil, which is from coconuts, has 10 more calories, again, not counting that. Grams of fat on this is 14. So this is something that I use specifically for my coffee, and whereas this I'm going to put in my smoothies. But it's all about starting my day with fat. That's what I want to get going, causing my body to really work off fat that I consume or my own body fat. But I'm not triggering my insulin until 2 o'clock, at least. What time is it now? It's 1:25, so here in a minute, once I get done shooting this video, I'll probably shoot one more, and then I'll go ahead and break my fast with my salad and my eggs and all that. But I'm always keeping up with how much fat can I get in the food and how little carbohydrates can I get. And then I want some in between that are gonna have some protein in there for once I do break my fast, but I'm still loading up on that fat, which would be the next video I'm actually about to shoot, talking about nuts and seeds. Thanks for your comments. They belong right here.